We wait all year for it in a heavy anticipation, 8 months to be exact. And that's not to take away from the rest of the year, as every section of the year holds unique charm and beauty. The quiet, snowy hibernation of winter, bundled up through short days, buried in snow and trying to stay warm. The world turns blue and freezes over. This is where it feels furthest. Spring, initially barren, brings birdsong and an earthy sweetness to the air and bursts of colors as green emerges from the softening soil and the ground becomes brown again as the rivers flow rich with snowmelt. Summer, the season we await, is dear to our hearts and a time of fond memories. That first plunge of many where the water doesn't cause goosebumps. So refreshing against the humid air, spending entire mornings at the river, feeling incredibly alive, where long days return and wildflowers grow fiercely, turning every corner of the land into a fragrant abundance. This summer I was especially excited for, since it would be the first full summer at the A-frame cabin. Also, with my garden, there were many harvests, both medicinal and edible, eating the freshest food to nourish the body as movement increases with the season. And I continued to build towards a homestead, and Harper was also having her first experience of summer. From the hayfields to the rocky summits, I find such depth and vibrancy in these months. In a way, life just feels effortless and free-flowing. In summer, we enjoy the simple pleasures of life and shed our layers, but something about doing the same motions day after day, tending to the garden, planning renovations, sweltering afternoons on repeat. I'm ready for change, and change is here. Summer is ending, and it makes me extra grateful to live where there are 4 full seasons. We are on the brink of transformation here on the mountaintop. I'm nervous to go in. In the past couple of weeks, it's gone from refreshing and nice in the summer sun to cooler mornings, and the water is absolutely frigid. With all the cooler weather, I'm having a harder time getting out of bed in the morning because it's so cozy. But today, I'm here with the intention that if I can get up and come dip in the icy water, I can get up out of bed any day of the week in the house. This summer I wanted to challenge myself to get better with sourdough baking, and I heavily gravitated towards pie crust, probably because There's so many local fruits and berries in season around here, so I went through and worked on the different ratios. I feel like now I have a really good recipe that comes out with a flaky crust. It's still really soft and buttery. In it, I use honey instead of cane sugar and active sourdough starter instead of discard. I like how it comes out better with the fermentation process that I do overnight. But this specific pie, truly, I've been waiting to make for at least a year since we moved into the house. There was something right outside that I have been patiently waiting to harvest, and that is our apple tree. It sits in the center of the yard. I don't know exactly what kind it is. It fits nicely in your palm and it's very crisp. Last year, a bear came and snapped the tree almost in half. We weren't sure how well it was going to do this year, but it is thriving. And so I went out and gathered a full basket of apples to bring inside and make my first apple pie. Serious storms today, on and off and on and off. Right now it's pouring. You can't even make this up. We are losing power on and off. It happens almost every month here, at least once or twice. This summer has been a lot with the outages. So I've told you guys about Jackery, they're a lifesaver. I just came down to make sure that everything is good and charged because I have a feeling we're going to actually lose power for a significant amount of time before this storm ends. And Jackery is the sponsor of this video. The Jackery 2000 Plus solar generator is the ultimate home backup power solution. All I have to do in an outage is plug it in and it's good to go. You can power devices up to 6,000 watts with a 2 to 24 kilowatt hour expandable capacity. And I can keep my large household appliances running, such as my fridge, with the 3 to 6 kilowatt output power. This is a sustainable and reliable power source as it uses solar technology. I simply go outside, open up the panels, plug it in, and let it charge, reaching full power in just 2 hours. And if you charge it in the wall, it'll be at 80% battery level in just 100 minutes. I really like the ultra long standby mode because when we're not using it, it will consume less power and be ready to run again for the next outage. There's also the emergency power backup function with automatic power switching in 20 milliseconds and a 5-year full warranty. The 2000 Plus has not only given us peace of mind, but also self-reliance. So whether it's unexpected outages or you want to embrace a greener future, check out what the Jackery 2000 Plus solar generator can power for you by clicking the links in the description below. And thanks again to Jackery for sponsoring this video. Do you think that smells so good?
I could eat this entire piece in 3 bites.
My youngest sister's birthday is coming up in about a week, and she is traveling a lot these days. Her friends are mostly out of state. I wanted to give her something that will bring her back to home when she travels, something that will bring her peace and maybe remind her of me. I gathered lemongrass, rose, lemon balm. I have a ton of lavender dried out from earlier in the season, different kinds, and I'm going to make something really special for her. Maybe you have figured out what I'm making. I've got my blend here. I kept adding to it, playing with it, and it smells really incredible now. These are all very calming and support the nervous system type of herbs and flowers. I am going to be making an eye pillow, very aromatic one. So another important component with that is you need something with weight. Right now I have rice and quinoa on hand. Flaxseed is probably my favorite, and that adds weight. It molds to your face better. All I have to do is put it together now. This is perfect. I need to make myself one. I feel like I need to make everyone one of these, actually. Living in New England, when September rolls around, so do the first signs of autumn, and yes, there are pops of color in the foliage everywhere. And with Old Blue back just in time, we packed up the truck for our first trip up north, where the temperature would be just a bit cooler, so the signs would be even more present and we could get in the fall spirit.
This is sweet. This is so cool. Yeah.
You know, I have no idea. I know Jackson's over here and we're like an hour away. I think we're in this area. We're up by Cannon Mountain, Crawford Notch.
Okay.
Cannon Mountain right up here.
So
yeah.
we're very close to Franconia Notch.
Yeah.
Wait, here we are.
Oh yeah. Where is Shikorowa?
Let's look at the difficulty levels and how long they are, so we're gonna pick a nice long one.
We'll just look in this general area over here on the way back.
Today looks like we're going to do the Franconia Ridge Trail that we did once before, but totally different weather, so get a nice new lens on it. I just got a mosquito bite on my forehead. That was crazy. The trail is really beautiful, and it goes basically hiking up a waterfall, and then you get to the ridge, and last time it was a little cloudy. It's perfectly clear today. All right, here we go. We fueled up for the hike ahead and stopped by next door at our favorite shop in New Hampshire, Lonesome Woods, to see our friend Nick and check out his curation of antiques and provisions and dry goods and vintage clothes. Seriously, his curation is the best. It's always a mix of learning and shopping.
I got another one, see? Him and hers. This was a nickel plated. So you see, it would have been like this shiny. But
Yeah.
look at the inside. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Another coat.
It is another sweater. All right, we've got 8.6 miles. It's almost 80 degrees. Here we go. I remember this birch forest goes up and up and up until the ridge. And all throughout here it smells like balsam candles. As soon as you rise above the last tree line, everything changes. Physical soreness from the ascent starts to fade, the mind clears, and a constant breeze cools the skin. And at the same time, you can really feel the warm sun again after miles in the woods. In that moment, fear, anxiety, stress, it all gets blown away in the wind. There is only space for the present moment and bliss. The panoramic views, split only by the ridge in front of me, feel like something I once saw in a magazine. A distant land, almost foreign or dreamlike, and I can't believe I'm walking along it, witnessing the clouds at eye level and expansive waves of rolling forests below. It's not often in this world that we become completely present, moment by moment. But here, there's no other option. So I savor this moment and the experience and hope to take it with me, knowing that I can always come back to the current moment when my mind wanders or life gets hectic. We can all reach for this feeling at any time. I think that's why I love hiking so much and time spent in nature. There's always a lesson to learn and a sense of realignment. What a beautiful morning. It's super crisp. I think the high today is 65. Very different from yesterday. But the hike was really taxing, and Kyle is going to get some more rest, but I woke up really antsy, and I just want to go look around and see if I can find any signs of fall in the foliage on the ground. We'll see. Sure enough, there were hints of the approaching season all around the cabin, all of the deep greens fading to a more golden hue. I see it every year, and yet every year I am in awe. Just as the spring has its pops of color lightening the landscape with the wild flowers and new buds, autumn speckles infinite shades of amber, scarlet, mustard, and rust from the forest floor to the mountain tops. Everything I see is about to wildly transform. Kyle says it only takes one leaf to shift it all and fall deeply into the spirit. And until we meet again, as the trees turn and everything is altered, I want to leave you with the idea that it takes only one positive thought, a single sense of gratitude, or an act of kindness to inspire impactful change.